guess what, guys? We are here at, what night is it, Isaac? What night?
It is Ujima, night 3 of Kwanzaa 365.
Night 3 of Kwanzaa 365. And I'm loving it this time around. This time around, we have added the health and wellness portion to Kwanzaa. And what better place to do that than here at a Kwanzaa celebration?
I agree.
Absolutely.
What you think about that?
Absolutely. And as I said before, what's better than us adding it is that people are truly receptive to it. You know, lots of oohs and ahs and lots of participation. So that's even better. It's very well received.
Yes, and tonight, you know, well, so far, the first night, we talked about spiritual health and meditation, and we put in yoga. And then the second night, we talk about eating healthy, you know, making those healthy food choices and taking care of our bodies. And tonight, we're going to talk about physical fitness,
Movement.
getting that exercise. Hey, exercise is medicine.
Absolutely.
Yes, and moving up. And guess who's going to be a part of that? We have, well, tell us
We have
who we
Latanya
have.
Nettles
Hello,
here.
I am Latanya Settles
All
of
right.
Forever Free Fitness.
Yes, it.
And I'm
Forever
excited to
free.
be here. Yes,
Oh, wow.
Forever
you gotta tell
Free.
us why you decided to have Forever Free.
Because I believe that we forever can be fit, and it can be free. It's within ourselves. It's for us to explore. It's for us to engage. And I think it's just mind, body, soul connection, and that's free. God has given us the ability.
Okay. Don't you like that?
I love it.
You love it?
I want to know what does it take to cross that threshold? Because it takes an event, sometimes a life event, but what does it take for us to cross into that freedom?
Well, what
you
it
think?
took for me was somebody that I knew to make that change. You know, we see people out here, stars, you know, social media makes it look so easy. But when I seen somebody who looked like me and did it, you know,
Okay.
within a time period that,
Yes.
you know, was reasonable, I was like, this is achievable.
Okay.
And so I jumped in and I was excited. I was 210 pounds.
Okay.
Through all of my pregnancies, and I've had two.
Okay.
I was 160 to 180 growing up, so I was a thick PHAT girl.
Okay.
I was fabulous in my
Hey,
fat.
okay.
So we just have to we had a different approach. I had a different mindset. I thought that was how it was supposed to be.
Okay.
Not knowing that, you know, there was a whole better life out there, and I came into that existence about 13 years ago.
Okay.
So.
Okay. And so that's great that you took the challenge, because a lot of times we just have to get that mindset and we have to take the challenge to, guess what? We're not going to make any more excuses.
No more excuses.
It's time for us to do.
It's time to activate.
Exactly.
We can unveil, but it's time to activate. If we can have it in our mind, the mind is where it starts, but the activation is where it begins and finishes. If
That's
we
it.
don't activate, then it's never going to happen.
Right.
And so I take people through that whole process of learning and loving themselves and knowing that you can do it. You know,
Yes.
you looked like something one time ago, but you can always get back there. It's just going to be a little bit harder, a little bit
yes.
different, you know.
Uh-huh.
So my mission is helping women.
And a good challenge never hurt nobody.
It never hurt anyone.
And what's great to me, you told us a little earlier that you started off in real estate and how you've made this transition. And I can see the motivation. I can see that you are successful in what you do because you release that motivation to, you know, to people. So that's awesome.
I'm passionate. I love it. I love it. I walked away from real estate 2 years ago and just dove in. Like, I
Okay.
think God said I needed to do this, and I
Yes.
just dove in, and I didn't look back.
So how is it so far? So tell us about your business.
So my business is assisting women in their mission to get back to them, get fit for life. And I'll take you through my life. You know, I was successful at real estate. The business was going good, making 6 figures. And then one day, you know, the economy started to drop. And I thought, oh, it's going to be okay. You know, we're going to survive this. But then I didn't survive it. And I started going into a deep depression. And in that depression, I had to look at my life and say, okay, what's next? And I could have made some choices to go wrong, or to go right.
Okay.
And that's when my girlfriend came into play. I believe God positions people in front of you for a reason.
Okay.
I hadn't seen her in a while.
Oh, wow.
And when I seen her, it was like 8 months later.
Okay.
She was a bikini competitor.
Okay.
Okay. She was 210. We was thick together.
Okay.
And I seen her and I was like, oh, I want to do that.
Okay.
And she would take me walking every day, 5 miles a day at Blacklick. 5 miles a day. It would take us an hour and a half, but we consistently did that for 3 months. And little by little, she showed me how to eat.
Okay.
She showed me, you have to just engage into food. We don't know that it's important to eat. Most people aren't eating.
I know.
They wake up and have coffee.
I know.
They don't even wake up and have a glass of water. They don't know that they're steaming their body before and they're in a
Yes.
hunger state.
Yes.
So I had to learn how to eat.
Okay.
And so I became that skinny fat.
Okay.
And I was kind of, skinny, but the stuff was flapping.
Right,
It was all over. And I just wanted to be sculpted and lean.
Okay, well, thank you.
Thank you. I'm excited.
All right then, all right. So yes, we are here. We're here in Columbus, the Columbus 365 Kwanzaa. We're celebrating. This is our third night, Ujima. We're excited because we have health and wellness a part of our Kwanzaa celebration, and we are excited because, like we said, our health is priceless, right?
It absolutely. Without our health, we don't have anything. So you can't put a price on that.
It is priceless. So tell us about yourself. Tell us about yourself and what you do.
Well, my name is Hassan Bailey, and I'm the founder of Performance Elite Fitness, which focuses primarily, I have adult programs and I have youth programs. My adult programs focuses mainly on weight loss and body sculpting, and my youth programs focuses mainly on athletics, youth athletics.
Okay.
I've been a coach. I've been a trainer for over 20 years in my life, and been a coach for about 10 of those years. And but I stepped out of coaching and stepped more into the training aspect of it, where I can continue to coach and train at the same time. So I'm trying to forge a new path for strength coaches, personal trainers, and so on and so forth in terms of what we do, because athletics is taking a turn, so I want to go with the flow.
Okay, that sounds good. That sounds good. So with that said, what do you think about the participants tonight? I think they were participating. At first, they were when we started out talking about this Wednesday night. I'm all crazy. People were hesitant. They were like, but now it's just the third night, and you see how people were raising their hand. Right.
I thought the same thing. I was kind of like taken aback on how active they were, because coming out with the African garbs and everything looking good, and then African American women in their hair, and so but to see them,
I seen the faces.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
but to see them get active it was a good thing to see, because they were motivated.
They were motivated. And so, like we always say, and my husband, you guys know, Dr. Doe, Dr. Nate Doe, kidney specialist, but he always used to tell me, even back in the day, I would be like, people aren't listening, this and that, He said, hey, if we just have one or two that change their lives, then they would change their household, then they'll change their community, and it'll catch on. So now it's basically people are getting into that movement of being healthy and fit. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. It's becoming more of a norm, but it needs to become more of a norm in the black community, the African American community.
Right.
It is. There's a lot of gyms popping up everywhere. There's a lot of fitness programs, challenges.
Right.
You guys have a challenge. I have a challenge. She has a challenge. We all have challenges, so we're getting people motivated and inspired. So it's reaching a larger level, a larger audience, but yet at the same time, it still needs to reach that African American community where it is most needed.
Right. And if we look at the stats, 80% of African American women do not participate in the recommended physical activity, and 65% of African American men do not.
Yeah.
So, what's that about?
What I believe is happening is that it's a whole thing of fear.
Okay.
Okay, I believe that sometimes we don't want to face our fears. And just like we just did this breast cancer campaign, me and my girls, they said 70% of the African American women are not doing the preventatives.
I know.
And why is that? And they're like, we don't want to know. And I'm like, yeah, you do want to know. You want to save your life. And I don't think that we've been targeted enough. Like,
Right.
they give us little tidbits of what they want to give us, but they're not giving us that consistency.
Okay.
And so we just have to know that we might not be able to get it, but we got to go get it.
Right.
You know, we can't stand and wait for them to give us something. We
So
gotta
then,
take
what
our
do you
life back.
think? For us as health professionals, what can we do though to get folks to be energized to really care about themselves? Do you think it's a self-esteem thing? Do you think that folks subconsciously don't feel that as African Americans we're worthy to be? What do you think?
I think fear is a large part of it, as
Okay.
LaTanya says, and also, we're stuck in our comfort zones, and that's what your challenge is all about. Her challenge, my challenge is to get people out of their comfort zone, to get them up and moving. So we challenge them with some small, simple challenges, just things that are doable, but just to get them out and moving. But fear, comfort zone, those are huge parts that have our people so complacent. And so we tackle the social medias because we know that they're on their phones, they're on the Facebooks, the Instagrams, and the Twitters, and on the internet. So
Right.
we're attacking those because wherever they're looking, that's where we need to be. My brother Hot Temp. But wherever they're looking, whatever they're watching, that's where we need to be.
Okay. So then that means we need to heighten or increase our efforts to go where the people are then.
I think we need to do that, but I think that the church needs to talk about it.
Yes.
And I think that if they start talking
Big
about it
time.
and being consistent with it, then it will come back. The church, where do they go for voting? They go to the church.
Okay.
And the pastors tell them what to do. Not
Right.
that we necessarily do it, but they make us pay attention, stay alert. So let's keep talking about it. How do you feel? Do you want to feel better? How can I help you to feel better? And I think the church needs to be more of an activist and have settings where they're inviting people like us in, and not afraid that we coming into their I don't know what the word I want to say, into their systems and saying we want to be a part of this and we don't necessarily have to be a member.
That's it. Right. Because it is about, a lot of churches have it, and I've seen that with me too. They'll say, okay, you can come to my church, but do you want to invite people I say, yes, the community. Invite everybody. Don't worry about membership today. Still pass the offering though, but
If I could say something for a quick second, for those couple passages that my friend that's LaTanya Settles. So
Yes.
for Forever Free Fitness.
Yes.
So you just haven't said your name yet. So I just,
okay, yeah. So we have with us,
Hi again, guys.
the LaTanya Settles from Forever Free. I love that. Forever Free Fitness.
And if you notice my logo,
Oh yes. Oh wow.
the Trinity.
Yes. Yes.
It's a mind, body, spirit connection.
Yes.
And that balance of the wellness will of life. We have to be mentally, physically, spiritually, intellectually, socially. What's the other one that I'm missing?
Are you talking about the eight
The
eight dimensions of wellness?
Yes, I am talking
Okay,
about, and I
so-
believe that
So
with
the
those
physical, the spiritual,
the mental.
emotional, the mental,
the financial, the
Get your
economical.
papers in order,
Yes, get your
right.
finances in order. I finance houses for a living. I look at people's credit, and that's one thing that we're doing next month is no sugars, no eating out, no coffees. Just some of the things that we don't think $1 a day times 30 is $365,000 that we could have had in 30 years, and wonder why we never had anything because we didn't know the value of $1.
Right.
But if I can challenge you to, okay, we're gonna do push-ups, but in doing push-ups, I want you to not buy a coffee.
Right.
Not spend $2
that's
today.
good. That's
We got to
good.
just take our life back and not make excuses. And I think that's why I make it forever because it's all of the components of life.
Right.
And we're going
Yes.
to have to deal with this forever.
Yes.
Our fitness is forever. Our
Yes, it
finances
is.
forever.
Yes.
The spiritual without God, there's no connection.
Right. And then we got to connect.
And we have
with
to
each
connect
other.
them. We got to connect with each other. Social.
Yes.
This is important
Yeah,
for us
that's
to be
that's
out here.
Part of health, social
Yes.
health,
Yes.
building relationships,
Yes.
And that's where the
knowing when a
community
relationship is bad,
And
to
walking
kick it
away.
to the curb, right?
In a way, and knowing that I care about myself more than I care about you. And I'm sorry, that's where it has to be because we're getting sick. And we're getting sick and taking on stuff. And it goes back to our mind. That mental
Yes.
health is that thing that's killing us.
Yes.
So I just try to pitch people. I'm like, why do we say can't or won't instead of will or can? Why we say
Yes.
3 letters versus 4?
Right.
So let's get back into the positive affirmations in our life and believing that we can. We haven't lost it.
I know.
It's just deep down, we got to pull it out.
And let's show up for our health,
Show up
right?
for our health.
Show up for our health. Now
Yes.
we show up for everything. We
Everything
show
else.
up for Beyonce.
Hello, Beyonce.
And spend that $75.
Not me.
And then when I ask for 25, y'all looking at me
Not
crazy.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
we got to invest in our
We have
health,
to
right?
invest in our health.
So what do you think, Isaac?
I think y'all absolutely right. I think, with Kwanzaa, it's about pushing the culture forward and that collective consciousness, the total well-being, that's a concept, that's a healthy concept. And I think that we are adding that to our collective consciousness
Yes.
as black people.
Yes.
And it's important for people to know that they can go to Forever Free Fitness or they can go to your studio as well and find that community and find that why and find people that can ride that wave with them. So it's not, it's not a weird thing. It's a normal thing.
It's a normal
Being black, it is being
And it's
healthy.
okay to be black.
Yes.
Hello, it's okay
Hello.
to be black.
We were created.
We were created. We were the first creations.
That's it.
So it's okay to stay that way.
That's it.
Hello, and take our life back.
That's it. There you go. Take your life. All right.
Absolutely.
Okay, we gonna wrap that up. That's a wrap up.
Enough said. Tanya, put it down.